everyone, welcome to a new video. I finished a whole insert or a journaling insert and I thought we could go through it together and to see the pages that I created in the past 4 months. There were exactly 4 months that fit in it, so it's been very nice. That means I can use 3 inserts this year. It's nice to have a year in a set amount of inserts. This is the cover that I made. The stars are scanned. Are they scanned or are they the original? They might be scanned, but they also might be the original EU calendar stars. I um I decided that I will have the same decoration theme for all of my inserts this year. And I have a sentence here. I have the words. This is from Planned by Jaila and Hello Naya collaboration stickers. So we're starting in January. This is the 1st of January. I was so ambitious back then that I could journal daily. I was on holiday. When you're on holiday, you have a lot more time. But when life starts and work life starts, then it turns out that you don't have that much time. So this is when I still journal daily. I received a gift from a friend, which is very nice. And this is 2, 3, and 4th of January. Lots of musings, lots of tea drinking. You'll see a lot of these pieces of the tea bags that I've been drinking. Next to tea bags, I also buy loose leaf tea. I usually don't add those to my spreads, but those are also in my consumption. Then there was a lot of snow in the beginning of January here in the Netherlands. You can see the snowy picture, but if you were to read the spreads, it's me talking about how we were going out in the snow, going for walks. It was cold. We were working from home. It was code yellow throughout the entire Netherlands, or code red even. We don't get snow often, so when it does snow, the whole country is messed up. Another tea, Infusion de Noël. It's a holiday limited edition tea. I buy all my tea from Palais de Thé. It's a very interesting tea. That's what I wrote here. Only fruits and spices make it very light and easy to drink. It took me quite some time to get used to drinking this tea. I didn't like it the first couple of times, but then after a month, it became one of my favorite teas. Then the 8th of January, I was off this day. It's a work day, but it was my birthday, and I don't usually work on my birthdays. It's something that I tell of my employers. Like the 8th of January, I don't like working, so you won't see me. I took a day off, and me and my partner went for a walk to the city in the snow. It was absolutely beautiful. Actually, it was perfect because several days after, all of the snow melted. So you will see some spreads where I write um, like this. So in what's it called? In type? In print. And some spreads where I write in cursive. It also sort of reflects my mood. If I want to write down my thoughts quickly because there's a lot of things in my mind, then I would generally prefer cursive. If I sit down and I have like a whole journaling session with tea, some YouTube videos, then I tend to write in print. So this spread, also by the layout, I had a lot on my mind and I really wanted to put it on paper. The washi tape strips that you see, they are supposed to be redactions. Since I share my spreads online, I don't want people to read stuff they are not supposed to read. And I redact names and sentences from my spreads using washi tape. I also have to say, January was a month where I had a lot of anxiety. Normally, I get winter depression here in the Netherlands, but this year it was quite decent. But my anxiety was literally very high. So, a lot of spreads, if you were to read them, talk about how I was feeling anxious and there was a lot on my mind. I've been using the EU pages a lot, especially the flowers on the EU calendar pages. I've really been enjoying them. It's a really nice way to have a consistent theme across several pages. So obviously I then open pages that I don't have those flowers in here and here, and you will see them on the next couple of pages. This is a spread for 2 days. I recall I got Happy Meal from Camille because this sticker is from her, and I basically built my entire spread around her mail. This is the first time I combined red with purple, and I really like it. I guess for this year, I want to experiment a bit more with color combinations. I'm not very consistent with it, but if I can, I try. This is a spread for also for 2 days. I usually do 2 days or 3 days on one spread. I really like this one. It's like a image or a sticker based on what I was doing, and then an excerpt for that thing that I figured was is related. So I think it says we got bread. My eyes are bad. I can't read what I wrote. It's also tiny for me in person. I was annoyed. Passport. I see. I think I bought tickets on this day to go back home. Wool for knitting because I knit quite a bit. So yes. Then this is 3 days on one page. Sometimes well, most of the time I don't journal per day, and there's a bunch of days that are semi related. And then I try to just write down my thoughts and decorate around it. It's a lot easier for my current life. Again, some cursive. This was a review for Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Episode 4. If you've seen Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Episode 4, you know why I had to write a review or an entry. I had to dedicate an entry especially for it. If you haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen, or if you are still planning to watch it, don't worry, I won't spoil it. But it was a 5-star episode, and it deserved the whole entry. Yet another tea. Um, Nothing to say. It's a 2-star tea apparently. Not my favorite. Then Roof and I went to Antwerp with his family. I have been to Antwerp a couple of times, but this is the first time we really explored Antwerp and went to a part that we rarely go to. Even he was surprised about that part of the city, and that's funny because he is from Belgium. So yeah, exploring his own country, you know. I took this picture on the way back to the train station. The sunlight was hitting this building, this older building, very beautifully. My printer, some people would say upgraded, other people would say downgraded. I have a laser printer now, and I went from an inkjet to a laser printer. Laser printers are not the best at printing pictures. I knew that, but inkjet ink is so expensive. And for me, the trade off of having toner that lasts a lot longer is worth it because I don't if I wanted if I wanted pictures to be printed properly, I would get them professionally printed. So for my journals, they don't need to be archival quality. And I skipped some pages. This is 4 days um, in one spread. I, again, like I said, in January, I had a lot of problems with my anxiety. And when I'm that anxious, I don't particularly want to journal. So there was quite some times where I didn't want to journal and I just made myself journal. This is why there's 4 days in one spread because I just wanted to have a synopsis of what happened, but I didn't feel the need to journal about every single day. This spread was a zero inspiration, but I wanted to journal or write something down for archival purposes. Some of you guys might think this is really nice, but if I look at this spread and maybe even this spread, this one is like a lower tier in terms of decoration for me. Then we end up in February. Um, I was sick the entirety of February. I will already say this. I got sick here and I on the 4th, and I got better in the 26th or 27th of February. I was sick for literally the whole month. Probably the flu, probably, or corona. One of them. It wasn't pretty. I was sick from home from work, or I was working from home. But yeah, so if you see the February spreads and they are kind of sad, yes, that's normal. I was sick. So, like I said, I got sick here. What does it say here? Watching a lot of Bridgerton season 4 and Singles Inferno season 5. Oh, yeah, that was my February indeed. What is this? I'm finally sitting down to journal for this week, so that means that these spreads were all created on the same day, which kind of makes sense why they have the same vibe, if you can tell. Um, let's continue. Oh, yes, this was, I remember this. I was very disappointed with how these two pages came out because this is not my normal style, but um, again, I was sick and I've come to just live with it. I mean, I cannot really undo it. I see more singles Inferno. Oh, I was talking to Tan with about it. We were theorizing. I was also thinking about knitting a T number one dress, which is an insane idea, and I'm still thinking about it. I have a yarn that is a deep red, like darker than these tulips, but like very deep red. And I have enough to knit myself a dress. Should I? Should I not? I will think about it a bit more. Then the 13th. The 13th is a unlucky number for many people, but for me and my partner, the 13th is actually our lucky number because we started dating on the 13th of um March. This is February, I know, but the 13th of March. And the 13th is also special, has a new meaning for us because on the 13th, um, this day basically, we went to view some houses because we were interested in buying a house, and we basically viewed the house that we bought. So now the 13th, I'm happy I dedicated the whole page to it because this is now an extra special page now, looking back at it several months later. Um, oh yes, and then it started snowing again, so it was good sunny weather, kind of warm, and then the weather was like, screw you, screw everything, we're gonna snow again. So then we had snow again. Um, if I recall correctly, these snowflakes are from ephemera that I received from Camille, but I might be wrong, but I think it's Camille, and I just peeled them off and stuck them in these pages. I've had them for many years. What does it say here? Oh yes, my I only know the Dutch word is crocuses. Is that also the English word? I'll put a picture. They were starting to bloom and they're here on my balcony, and I just love flowers. I love them when they start blooming, especially after winter. Then it's Lunar New Year. This is the day that we heard that we were selected for the house. So it was both the start of the Lunar New Year and the start of a new chapter in our lives. These petals were yellow with pink or white with pink, but they have since then discolored to this um, brownish, yellowish old color. That's okay with me. Um, it's the nature of working with plant material in your journaling pages. Then I suddenly had a burst of energy because I put in a lot of effort in creating these these two pages. This rectangle you see here is the border of this big sticker. I tend to reuse the borders of stickers because I find that they are still very pretty and useful. It says, do you remember And then it says a memory here in my handwriting. I thought it would be cute. The 23rd of February, um, also a very special day for us. Here in the Netherlands, there are several ways of living together with a partner. So you can get married, you can get contractually married with a contract. So you don't say I do, but you're still considered married. And you have a way of living together where you sign a contract that you are living together. So we didn't get married, but we did sign a contract that we are living together, which is this kind of necessary for buying a house, but also we have been together for 10 years now, and it was about time that we did one of those things. So we finally did it. So that's a good day. Actually, no, it wasn't. You sign a contract and you're out, and it's very unromantic. It's just like, yes, we are together. Sign, and you're out in 5 minutes. It was seriously so unromantic, but it felt good for us. Then I think, yes, my boyfriend went to Spain on holiday. He got invited to a game event. I briefly considered going with him, but since I told you I got sick in the beginning of February and we didn't know if I was going to get better, I decided to stay home and become better, become better and recover. So I did not go on this trip with him, which is good. He hung out with the boys and he had a guys trip, and I could just do my own thing at home because let's be honest, even if you're in a relationship, sometimes it's nice to be home by yourself. Um, yes, I have been apparently creating the habit where I don't finish the last pages of the month. I only wrote some of my entry here, and I recall that I wanted to come back and add some more um about my day, and then I never came back to write more about my day. Eh, it is what it is. Now we are in March. March is usually the month where spring is beginning to show some signs. So I chose green as my spread. I didn't really reread what I wrote here. Oh yes, Ruth was still in Spain and he got back. I think this evening when he got me some gifts. He got me a fan. I've been wanting a fan for many years, and he saw a really nice one and he got it for me. Haven't used it yet, hasn't been warm enough to use it. And oh, I ordered a pair of jeans. Actually arrived on Friday. And so one of these days. Um or yeah, I don't write down which day is which, but this apparently arrived earlier. These are my favorite style of jeans right now. I used to only wear the Levi skinny jeans 721, but my body has been changing, so these jeans have become my current favorite. I don't like super wide leg jeans, so these are still tight around the thighs and then just go straight from the knee down. Um, I did a lot of sewing in March because I was going on holiday to my parents and they live in a tropical country. I live in the Netherlands, it's cold. I was in dire need of summer clothes, so I decided to sew, sew one of them, my own dresses and tops. Almost every single day that I was there, I wore something that was me made. I'm still so super proud of it. I'm proud of that I taught myself how to sew to that level, and I can't wait to see what else I will be sewing up this year, which there are several projects that are works in progress right now. Oh yes, I treated myself to some cafe analog, because why not? It's the best part. Some more journaling. This spread was very fun. This washi tape is from the cafe analog order. They surprised me with it. I did not order it, but I really like this tape. And I finally have some red washi tape in my collection. Like I said, we are together for 10 years this year. Unfortunately for me, I was sick in February and Roof got sick in March. So we spent our anniversary. Well, he was in bed and I was out with a friend, getting lunch together and chatting. So we didn't really do something for our anniversary, which is sad. We should still do that. I'll put it on my to-do list. Anyway, continuing. The 14th and the 15th, lots of sewing this weekend. All of my weekends were dedicated to sewing clothes. Ah, I did not open, while I was preparing for this video, I did not open this entry. Usually when I have days that are very rough, I will make a entry that I hide away with the idea that um, I share, first of all, I share my dark thoughts and I don't necessarily want to read them back. So this is a way for me to indicate to myself, don't read this until you're at a good space, or never read this again because it's you were not at a good mental space. Secondly, it's to protect people from reading my entries when I share my spreads online, because now I know that I don't need to read this. But the spread that I created around it is quite pretty in my opinion. So hey, you can even make bad days look like good days. Um, I have no idea what happened here, but still a nice spread. You're also very nice spread. Oh yes, I went to get gardening supplies and I prepared for my balcony slash garden. Very fun weekend. Very intense but very fun weekend. Then a more like these spreads are tend to be more minimal, but this is a more maximalist spread. Maximalist for me, not for other people. Um, I wrote here signs of spring between hail and snow. Apparently, it was still hailing and snowing. I was binging the Chernobyl miniseries. I wrote hmm, and gave it 5 stars. It was a really good miniseries. What did I eat? I found a new snack, and if you live in the Netherlands, or I think in Belgium as well, and you have Jules de Strover cookies, crisp and cream, it's great. If you like chocolate and wafers, these are amazing. I don't buy them anymore because I literally ate the whole bag in one sitting, which is really bad for you. So don't be like me. Another spread that is not really finished, but that's okay. Such is life. Then this is the day that I left the house, and this is the day that I traveled. I went to visit my family, and I only stayed for 8 days, so there's not that many travel spreads. I will link a video where I talk to you about what I packed for my travel journaling kit and where I walk you through these travel spreads. So for now, I will quickly flip through these spreads, and also notice we are in April now, where the theme is blue. This is when I came back to the Netherlands, and this is the um, new sunglasses. I came back on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Ah, yes, this is also the weekend. I ordered new sunglasses for my trip, and obviously, they arrive after I'm back home because why wouldn't they? You know, why wouldn't they? Anyway, I have new sunglasses now. Another tea that I tried. Oh yeah, this spread was very fun. I found this print in my collection. I was gifted it by Camille, and I figured it needed its own dedicated page. You know, you don't want to hide this masterpiece. So I layered vellum on top of it, and the ink that I used, which is Sailor something, I don't even want to say. It's a Sailor ink, and the ink kind of matches the colors of the painting on the vellum. It's a little bit of a chameleon effect. I love it. I love this spread. And I finally listened to the new BTS album. Normal has been on my repeat. Everything else is not really my taste. Do not come for me. Like I said, I've been trying a lot of new teas. So another tea here, tea from the stars. I am considering getting a bag of this if they still stock it because this one is very delicious. Ah yes, a empty my brain type of spread. I don't even remember. I think I just stayed home this weekend. Yep. And there's not that much that was happening. I was just focused on work and chilling. The calm before the storm. And this is where life started getting a little bit busier. I got flowers, not these tulips, but I got flowers nonetheless. Very pretty flowers. They didn't last that long, unfortunately. This is again still comfort. I was sewing a skirt this weekend. I was invited to a wedding together with Ruth, and I need some outfits for it. So I'm sewing a skirt until the end of. I'm actually still finishing the skirt, and I will attempt to finish one more outfit, but you will see. And then this is the day that we became homeowners. We received the key. This is a picture of me and Ruth signing the purchasing contract. I don't want to show his face, my face. You guys might know, but yeah, it's a long entry. It's a very exciting day. I was also trying to be very conscious about my entries because I was at the end of my insert. So that's why some of them are very short. And this one, I kept the entries short and sweet. And I ended the insert with until we meet again. And I filled out the date, the start date I filled out when I started it, and then the end date when I ended it, which is the 30th of April. So perfect 4 months in one single insert. It is a lot thicker, a lot fluffier in comparison to the new insert, which is here. Yes, I put the face on a new insert. I know. This one says in the springtime. It's still spring. I know it won't be spring when I in the middle of it, but I have the words in the springtime. It's gonna be good, guys. It's gonna be good. Once again, the stars. These ones are facing sideways. It's a design choice. And yes, I started my May entries. So this is the comparison between the newer journal and the felt journal. So it's not super fluffy, but it's still very fluffy. Um, let's take this one out and I will archive it in my insert box. And put in the new one. And I noticed it earlier today, but the cover that I made, this green and this green, on camera the left looks more brown, but in person it is a very close match. Obviously, different materials reflect light in a different way. Um, yeah, I just thought that was a bit cute. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for coming to this video. I hope you liked the flip through of my um, journaling insert, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.